I do a YouTube channel. I have about 24K subscribers. I have about 50K on my Facebook. Doing pretty well.
Yep.
Only been doing it for a year and a half. It's called Belief in Fatherhood. You don't, you can shout it out. But anyway, I just did a deal with Apple. Apple was like, hey, I love your picture. I love this picture that you use on Instagram. It'd be dope if we could use it for our campaign worldwide. So literally, there are 90 billboard-sized pictures of my son around the world.
That's amazing.
I'm trying to figure out, yeah, it's great. So I know that this is just like it's a cool thing, you know what I'm saying, to happen, but I know it doesn't really give me anything besides the money that we got off top, you know,
right.
which was cool. But I'm trying to figure out how to leverage this opportunity into something bigger and to put some more brands. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Guess where he is?
Where?
No, in other words, you could have some type of an online activity that's interactive where you could guess where he is, locate him, and something along those kind of lines to create engagement.
So,
not bad?
So, yeah, I mean, so what, real quick, how old's the child?
He's 4.
So
he's adorable.
I'm sure he's adorable.
The
I mean, so it's interesting. So one more time, because I want to make sure I heard this right. Apple obviously licensed the image from you that they saw online through
right.
what? Through Facebook or Instagram? Just I want to get all the details.
Instagram.
Okay.
Do a freaking hashtag. Only thing I ever hashtag.
Wild. And they bought the rights to the photo, obviously, and they're using it in how many billboards and how many markets? I want to hear it one more time.
90 different billboards
around the world. And so you're saying to yourself, okay, my 4-year-old son is on 90 billboards. You took the photo?
I took the photo.
And you're thinking about how do I leverage this opportunity, right?
Right. And keep in mind, like, though I have very low numbers, like, you know, 24K isn't a lot. You know, if I put up a video for an ad on Facebook, it gets 2 or 3 million views. You know what I'm saying? So I can create very heartfelt stuff for the Black community, for church folk and stuff like that. But I'm trying to figure out how to present this to brands better because I have all these working relationships, but I can't get, like, you know, real money. You know what I'm saying?
Of course I know, because brands oftentimes are paying for distribution and are commoditizing out creative, and you're playing in a creative world, and obviously you've shown some distribution capabilities. Let's take it a step back. What bucket do you want to put this talent into? Like, what do you want to build? Do you want to build an agency? Do you want to build a product? I think one of the things that, back to the way, you know, the reason John's shaking his head now, these are the practical questions. I think the model of I want to get brands to pay me more for branded posts on social networks is fine, and I think is an emergingly massive market, but you're also at the vulnerability of the platforms, the terms of service changing, the market behaviors. I think the question becomes, what do you want to do with your creative talents? Are you trying to build a service business? Are you trying to build a product business? Are you trying to build a personal brand where you can
father advocacy business?
That's right. Like,
it could be something on those
right.
lines as well.
Where do you want to take it? I think you have to make those decisions on where you want to.
Know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to be, you know, the thought leader on parenting 5 years from now. Everything I do with these vlogs and these videos only shows my validity and how I can speak on these topics as a father from the father perspective and as a husband. So 6-7 years from now, when CNN is having some issue with parenting, they can bring in and talk to me about it.
I understand.
But in the short term, I need to make some money. You know
I understand.
What I'm saying?
Of course I do.
Well, advocacy and money don't always travel hand in hand together. So, you know, okay. I know from one, and this is just my view, if you want to monetize this, then, you know, you need money for charity. No money, no charity. So you start with the monetization and then you build to the advocacy. I don't think it's the other way around. Would you agree, Gar?
Yes, but I think what he's asking is it's a little bit interesting what he's up to. So real quick, you've been able to make some money from brands on creating content on your personal profiles?
Yes, sir.
How much? Like $500 a post? Like that kind of numbers?
900.
Yeah. So John, do you know this phenomenon? There's like, we believe that it's a $2 to $3 billion market of people with large social network accounts, mainly on Instagram and Facebook, where brands will pay them for, you know, in essence, commercials, like a post, you know, advertorial.
Yes.
As the way we grew up with it, right?
I've had those requests on my page.
I'm sure. So I think there's a couple ways to do this. I've got a very rogue answer for you. Are you Are you trying to make this your full-time living? Do you have a job currently as well?
I came from hip hop. I'm trying to get out of hip hop. I'm moving toward fatherhood because it's
understood. But when you say you came from hip hop, do you have a job right now, or are you trying to live your life through?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna throw you for a curve. How old are you?
I'm 32.
So, when you become the person that the big media companies in 6 or 7 years call for fatherhood in your genre, things of that nature, is your plan to get $1 million book advance, to get paid $40,000 to give speeches? Are you looking to ultimately?
Exactly.
Okay, I would tell you that I think you should get a job, and I think you should get I think you should get a job for somebody who's a personal brand. I think you should look under the hood. The great advantage, the thing that allowed John and I to sit here today and have all these people watching and listening, is we did the thing for decades before we talked about the thing. Yeah. I believe that if you got a $45,000, an $80,000, a $9,000, I'm not going to speak to your finances, but I believe if you worked the 9 to 6, 9 to 7 to be the social media guy for any personal brand, whether it's in your genre or not, and it probably won't be in your genre, an athlete, an actress, a politician. If you could see somebody, I'm a big fan of working for somebody who's doing the thing that you want to do. You get to see everything under the hood. And I would love to see you pay your bills and learn the do's and the don'ts, and then use that platform to build yourself up. I'm a very big advocate of the advice that I'm giving. And let me be clear. I know it's taking a step backwards to take 2 steps forward. A lot more fun to kind of sell your $900 post here, your $800 post there. But I genuinely believe that a year or 2 of that work could become disproportionately powerful, because what you're going to do is, I love when I see what Dunk does or he sees what I do, and then you work it on your account. Like, it's incredible to like see the do's and don'ts. And I think that there's a way for you to possibly get that job, and then build off of that. And that's just one way to go about it. By the way, the other way is to keep scrapping. You just
also, I just got to say something. As a father of a 28-year-old, I'm just not sure you're an authority of being a father when you have a 4-year-old. Talk to me when he's 15.
But this is the thing. Like, people they see me as successful because they see how well behaved my children are, but they don't realize that I still have to raise a 30-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to get to 30 in order for me to be considered a success. So I'm kind of in a weird position where people want to see what it's like to be proof that fatherhood is even something that they want, because they don't believe in it, because some people don't have their fathers around. So all I am is proof.
Listen, I think John's right, and I think you're right? Which is why I created that whole genre of document, don't create. All these people faking it, saying I'm a great father, instead of, look, here's
the proof.
I've been really pushing my audience, John, to like, hey, faking that you're an expert at bars because you worked in one for a year and you want to be known as that because it sounds cool or it seems like you can make money that way is fine. You're going to trick a couple of losers. Winners are going to look at. I mean, you as a winning.
I'll see through in a minute.
You jumped in right away and said, "Wait a minute, bro, your kid's 4." Right. But what I think he's doing, and culturally, he's painting a picture. That's right. He's like, I have a 4-year-old, and that's where I'm at now. So listen. I think you've got 2 options. A couple of options. You've got probably way more than that. I think the thing that you can do is deploy massive patience, produce far more content that you're producing now, hustle more, produce tons of content, and build a very slow burn for 7-8 years. I did 5 episodes a day of Wine Library TV in 2006 for, I don't know, 4 years before it kind of like meant a little something. 4 years every day, pumping out that show daily, 5 days a week. I think a lot of you in my audience know, a lot of you have just discovered me in January. I've been putting out content on the internet every single day for a decade. At scale, successfully. So I think you either deploy patience and make your 900 here, your 100 here, your 500 here. 1 month is 4,000. You feel like you got it. The next month it goes to $80. You're like, what the fuck? Or you take the route that I painted first, which is, do you go and get a job as a social media content person for a very famous athlete or actor or actress, so you could see it at a higher plane, so you see what it tastes like at the $10,000 post, at the $100,000 speaking engagement, so that you're like, okay, that's what it takes to get there. Got it? Or you do both.
Got it.
It's funny, that's the same advice I would give to somebody who asked that question about the bar business.
I believe you, man.
Go to work for the best one you can find in
100%.
town. Work for an example and learn from that example. Same deal.
Glenn, I appreciate you calling, man. Good luck to you. Keep hustling.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.